Hi everyone. Hi, it's Arsh Ellahi. It's Sunday, I think it's the 25th of June 2017. And tonight we're doing a very special webinar, a live webinar. We're going across quite a few different platforms tonight. So we're live on Facebook, we're live on the webinar, we're live on YouTube. I think we're live on Ustream as well. So we're really broadcasting. We're one of the very few trainers that actually go out to quite a number of different platforms. So just want to say thank you for being online. Thank you for being with us this evening, because tonight it's it's a topic which I'm very passionate about. It's about how to find BMV deals direct to owners, and I've put tonight on Gumtree because that's one of the platforms that we use. But we're going to be going through a number of different platforms that we go about and how we find a number of different deals. So moving on. So why should you listen to me? So first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me this evening. Trust me with your time, because I appreciate that time is a precious commodity, and I guarantee that this is going to be one of the best investments that you make. So in just 90 minutes time, you're going to know how to find deals direct to landlords on Gumtree, how to accurately measure the market value of a property, just like a surveyor, and how to negotiate huge discounts on properties in order for you to get BMV deals. So if you don't know what BMV is, so B Bravo, Mike, Victor, so below market value deals. So we're going to be showing you how to get huge discounts on properties all over the UK, and this can potentially happen all over the world. So let's get through the intros. Oh, I don't know why it keeps doing that tonight. So why should you listen to me? So first of all, I'm a best-selling author of a book called Boom, Bust and Back Again. Now, I'm not one of these people that have only been involved in property in 5 minutes. And if you are, I appreciate that there's lots of people out there doing lots and lots of different training. Now, some people have been on a workshop for a weekend and they automatically position themselves as a bit of an expert. Now, with me, I'd like to think that I've got a bit of experience. I've been through the boom and bust and back again. So I've been involved in property, well, nearly 17 years now. So you could say I'm a bit of a veteran, and I've earned my scars. I started a deal trading business on student size savings and made in excess of £6 million in under 3 years. And I'm a property investor myself. I'm consistently buying myself. I'm a trainer. I'm a property mentor, and I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people achieve financial freedom. So I will be going through some of the questions. I'll be going through some of the questions. So some of the questions that come through from time to time, yes, I'll be trying to go through them as much as I can so that you guys can get as much value as you can. So tonight I'm going to be throwing out a bonus. The first bonus is that towards the end of the webinar, and you have to stay on for the whole webinar to get the bonus prize. The bonus prize is, first of all, thank you for being with me this evening. And it's a 14-page guide of what I would say the ultimate vendor questions, the kind of questions that the vendor is going to ask you, which you need to have a pretty much prompt response to, so that you can to give them the confidence to know that you're the person that they need to deal with. And I'll be giving this away at the end of the webinar. So this is specifically only for people on the webinar. So before we do that, let's get all of our excuses out of the way. So first of all, I want to know whether you're on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on whether you're on the webinar directly. Do you believe you can be a property sourcer, a property trader, a deal trader? You call yourself whatever you want to do. I like to be called a deal trader. Just call it a deal sourcer or a deal trader. They're my two preferred methods. The reason why I say that is because that's what I believe. That's what I believe I'm good at. That's it. That's what I believe I'm good at. Okay, so one person said that they're listening on Twitter. Great. Okay, so if you're listening on any of the platforms, if you can, in the comments box, I want you to just tell me, do you believe you can be a trader? Do you believe you can be a deal sourcer? Do you believe you have the attributes it requires to make property your full-time position. The reason why I say that is because we've all got excuses. Now, I hear excuses on a day-to-day basis, and admittedly, I'm not very sympathetic towards them. Oh, Arsh, my job got in the way. Oh, Arsh, I couldn't do it because my kids were this, and I had to take my kids to that. Now, let me get my excuses out of the way. Over the last 30 days, I've been fasting. So we've been going to, as a person of the Muslim faith, I've been fasting. So I've been adhering to the laws of Ramadan. Now, over Ramadan, we're not allowed to eat between sunrise or sunset, which means that we're not also allowed to drink between sunrise and sunset. Now, sunrise is approximately 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, sunset is 9:30 at night. So for that whole duration of the day, from 2:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night, there was nil by mouth. So there was no food, there was no drink, there's no chewing gum, there's no coffee, there's no tea. But yet I set myself a massive challenge that I wanted to do 30 deals in 30 days. And that's exactly what we did. Now, how many of you guys would have said, well, you know what, I can't do it this month because I'm fasting, or I'm finding it too hard this month because I can't speak to people. But in that whole month, I also challenged myself physically because I played squash every day for 2 hours in the evening whilst I was still fasting. So not only was I challenging myself mentally, I was also challenging myself physically. And the reason why I say that is because we all believe that we can do it, but we all fall at the first hurdle. The first hurdle is that the first excuse we can find, oh, we can't do it. You know what, guys? If that's the case, this is not for you. I'm going to be completely blunt about this evening. That to be a deal trader, you have to be in it, and you have to be in it to win it. And the reason why I say that is because from time to time, you will get knockbacks. But as a result of the knockbacks, you get stronger. As a result of you getting stronger, you become more confident. As a result of you becoming more confident, you become the ultimate deal trading machine. And that's exactly what I think I am. I don't believe there's a better deal trader in the UK at present than me. I've done 30 deals within the last 30 days. And there'll be lots of people that will throw out lots of claims. Oh, yes, I can do 30 deals in 30 days. Now, for those of you that are friends of mine and you're on my marketing database, or whether you're on friends of mine on social media, you will know that this is 100% accurate, because every day for the last 30 days you would have either seen 1 or 2 deals or properties or transactions being marketed to the whole database. So if you're on my email database, can you just please confirm that you received a number of deals over the last month? I bet you got sick of seeing my emails. I bet you got sick of opening your emails, and there I am again posting another deal, another great below market value opportunity, another great HMO opportunity, another great rent-to-rent opportunity. And, you know, admittedly, the reason why I put them out there is because I want to show you guys that I'm actually doing this on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not one of these people that talk about it but don't do it. I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. Now, one thing I do want to say is that there's going to be a prize. Now, if you're on Facebook, if you're listening on Facebook, if you're listening on YouTube, etc., if you share the video as you're watching it live, there's going to be a prize for a specific person. We'll pick that person out towards the end. So all you've got to do is share the video and say, I'm watching it with Arsh Ellahi, would you like to join in too? So I want to really open up. I really want to open up the masses to this, because I believe everyone can do this. And the reason why I believe it is because I'm actually doing it. And what we're going to do is that towards the webinar today, I'm going to be showing you how I've taken a group of people who had no experience in property and how they've become deal trading machines in their own right. And within 30 days, okay, they may not have done 30 deals themselves, but they've done 3 or 4 deals, which is probably a lot more than some people do in a whole year. So we're going to move on. So what is our belief and actions? Our beliefs shape our actions. If we believe it's possible to find deals, then we're more likely to act in a way that confirms this. If we believe it's possible to find deals, then our actions will prove that we can. Tonight, I'm going to prove to you that we can find deals direct to owner in any town from the comfort of your own, from the comfort of your own sofa. We're going to actually do a live interaction tonight. So guys, it's really important that we're gonna do this live. So James, Andrea, Andrew, Quinton, Victor, they're all saying, yes, I receive deals off you every day. And the fact is, the reason why you're getting those emails is because these are deals that we've negotiated and we're now in the process of putting them forward. So what I want to do is, first of all, regardless of what method you're listening in on, I want you to basically tell me, what is your property goals? So what will these secrets mean for you? What will you do with this information? And what is it, you know, is the information without action equals no change. If you take the information and you don't do anything with it, you're not going to change. So we're going to move straight forward into, I always put this out on one of my on a webinar straight away. What is your why? No, so take a moment right here. So whether you're listening on Facebook, YouTube, Ustream, on the webinar, I want you to just write down in the comments box, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you on this webinar tonight? Why do you believe that deal trading can change your life? Because I'll tell you what my why is. My why is very simple. I've got a very young family. I've got two very beautiful little daughters. They're 3 and 2 years old. So they're my why. When I get out of bed in the morning, I see their face, I'm making breakfast for them. I want to make sure that they're going to live a life of financial freedom. My why is also to pay down my portfolio, so I'm consistently buying property for my own portfolio, for my daughters to inherit. Now, my why there is to pay down that portfolio so that they inherit a completely debt-free portfolio. That's my why. I've got no other reason as to why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Now, deal trading brings us a form of cash flow, because with deal trading, we don't own any property, we don't acquire any property. All we're simply doing is we're trading other people's property. We're using our time for their assets. We're very much a control-based transaction. Now, with the cash flow that we generate from the deal trading, it allows me to do one or two things. I can go off and keep buying more stock. Or I continue to keep paying down the existing debt that we've already got. Now, when we talk about why, you've got to set yourself a very specific goal. Now, in life, you've got to have one very specific goal, and I'm very clear about this. Now, my very specific goal is that on the 11th of November 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Why would I choose such a specific date? Why would I choose the 11th of November 2025 at 11:59 and 59 seconds p.m.? The reason why I say that is because the moment it hits midnight and we then turn on to the 12th of November 2025, I actually turn 45. And that's to the point I've structured all my loans so that they actually go to zero when I hit my 45th birthday. So I've already got my goal in place. All I've got to do is keep making sure that I generate cash flow to pay down the debt. I want to do it before I'm 45 because that's when I retire. I'm 36. What year are we in? 2017. Yeah, I'm 36 and I'm due to be 37 in November. So, yeah, to put it politely, I am ticking away at it, and I am ticking away. I've got another 8 years to retirement, but I want to do it before that. I want to challenge myself so that I can actually do it before that. So Paul Bell, he says, I want to buy a McLaren F1 and have financial freedom before he's 45, and that's a great goal to have. Everyone's got a different goal. You know, some people it may be things that they want to purchase. It may be that you want to sack your boss. It may be that you want to give your daughter that extra lifestyle. It may be that you want to travel around the world. It may be that you want to look after people. It may be that you want to build. You've got astronomical goals, and we're going to go through this tonight. So first of all, we're gonna ask a question: is what is a deal? Because this is the most common thing that everyone asks me. So Arsh, okay, what are you looking for in a deal? Now, for me, I like to buy something for less than what it's worth. That's what I consider a deal. Now, this leads to two further questions. How do you actually measure the market value of the house? And why would someone sell you their house cheaper than what it's actually worth? Now, remember, guys, if you're online and you're watching this online, feel free to share the video because there is a prize for this. Everyone that I see share, I'm going to pick someone out and there is going to be a prize for it. So let's keep moving on. Now, when we talk about what is a deal, now people say to me, Arsh, what is a deal? I've got this lovely house, and it's on the market, let's just say for £200,000. I can let you have it today for £198,000. Now, for you, for everyone that's listening, ask yourself this question: is that a deal? For some, they will say yes. For others, it may not. The reason why I say that, it may not have enough of a discount. Because the first thing that we need to do is calculate the market value. I like to think that when we calculate market values, uh, we've got three different types of values. So uh, we've got the market value, or so let's call it the marketing value. This is the value that the estate agents put on the property. So they come out and say, "Oh yeah, Mr. Elahi, your house is worth £200,000." Then we've got what we call hope value. Hope value is what I'm hoping to achieve. I would have hoped to have achieved £210,000. So I'm already £10,000 off the mark. And then finally, we've got what we call the realistic market value. And this is what we look at, this is what the house is worth. This is what someone is actually willing to prepare to pay for it. The asking price is just the asking price. So how can we accurately measure the market value of a property? Because the one thing that we have to look at is comparables. Because when surveyors calculate the market value, now just put yourself in a position here. When you bought a property yourself previously, you've probably gone off and got a mortgage. And the surveyors, and let's just say, for argument's sake, the surveyor's gone out and said, okay, Mr. Elahi, it's on the market for £200,000. You've offered £200,000, but in actual fact, I only think it's worth £180,000. And you're thinking, well, hang on, how can this be so wrong? How can we get this so wrong? The estate agent said it was worth £200,000. The estate agent could put any value they want on that property. They could have put £250,000. Doesn't mean it's worth £250,000. They could have put £2 million on that property. Doesn't mean it's anywhere near worth that kind of money. Because the surveyors calculate the market value for the banks. But how do they do it? They have to use comparables of other properties similar that have sold within the last 6 months. So they will look at stuff like Rightmove, they will speak to agents, they will look at land registry, they will look at all the other portals and all the other resources that they've got. And the reason why they say that is because they need to be able to do that to justify the value that they put, because they're acting in accordance to the bank. So the ideal comparable property, what is the ideal comparable property? In an ideal world, it would be something of the same size, the same condition, on the same street, and sold within a period of the last 6 months, which will give us a rough indication of what the kind of value would be for that property. Now, the one thing that I am going to do, guys, is that for the guys that are listening on YouTube, the guys that are listening on Ustream, and the guys listening on Facebook, we're actually going to cut this. We're actually going to cut this video now, the live stream. If you want to join us, and you want to learn some of the nuggets that we're going to be going through, as you can feel, I'm quite pumped about tonight's webinar. So what we need you to do is listen in live on the webinar. All you've got to do is underneath this video, there's got the link to tonight's webinar. All you've got to do, click on that webinar, and I will be seeing you all very shortly. Thank you very much for joining. Good night. Now, guys, on the webinar, thank you for staying with me. So I'm yours and yours alone. So here's what we're going to do. So in an ideal world, what's a comparable property? The comparable property is something of the same size, same condition, on the same street, sold for less than 6 months ago. Now, for argument's sake, when you see my emails that come out to you, the one thing that I'm always trying to not even justify, because justify is quite a strong word, but what I'm always trying to tell you in my emails, when I tell you, well, some people say to me that, Arsh, your emails are quite educational. And that's the way that I want them to be. The reason why I want them to be educational is because I want to show you the way that my mind works. And if you look at it, first I'm telling you a little bit about the opportunity. What is the property? Where is the property? Next thing that I'm doing, I say, here's what I think it's worth, and here's all the evidence to back that up. If I'm telling you that it's worth £100,000, here's all the evidence to confirm that it's worth £100,000. And we will link it back to the properties that have been listed on that street or within the very close vicinity. And this is the same kind of comparable evidence that a surveyor will look for when they're valuing the property. Because as a trader, the last thing I want is for someone to buy property off me, they turn around and say, oh, okay, it's been down valued. That's not what I'm about. I believe in ethical trading. So let's keep moving on. So finding comparables is relatively easy. You know, there's no secret to that. There really is no secret to that because the internet has made it extremely easy to do so. So looking at fragments at Rightmove, looking at houseprices.net, having a look at well, there was Property B, then you've got Zoopla, house prices. You can speak to all the estate agents in that location to see what they had on, what they've sold in that location, how long it was on for, what was the general condition, how much was the market value, what was the sold value, what was the variance in price, how long was it on the market for. These are some of the questions that I ask agents every day. Rightmove is the easiest way to have a look for because 90% of houses are actually sold through estate agents and actually listed on Rightmove. So you can look at all the comparables. Here's one on this street, here's one on that street. We have a look at the floor plans. How does it vary? You know, does it work really nicely? Now, Rightmove will very kindly give you all the information that you need to know about sold prices, location, sold price, sold date, and even showing you the comparable, like the pictures showing you the condition of the property. Now, finding comparables on Rightmove, again, is very easy because all you've got to do is click on the house prices tab in the top menu bar. Now, if I'm going too quick for you, feel free. Let me have a quick look. So a couple of people are, let me just quickly go through some of the questions, sorry. So, I don't know why it keeps doing that. So, let me just quickly go through some of the questions. Is there going to be a recording sent out? Okay, so he's on a train, right, okay. Okay, cool, perfect. So questions so far were good. Keep moving on. So you click the house prices tab in the top bar menu. You click the sold house prices from the drop down menu. You enter the street and the town that you're looking to compare the property into. And then you show a list, they show you a list of all the properties that are sold on that street that have been listed with Rightmove. And remember, Rightmove and Zoopla are two biggest property portals in the UK for the property industry. So remember, we've got three kind of values. We've got the marketing value, we've got the hope value, and we've got the realistic market value. Ideal and real world is what we call them. Because you need to know what the ideal comparable is. Because the last thing you want to do, is that what happens if the property doesn't exist? Because what happens if you're looking for something that's quite bespoke? That's admittedly where it becomes a little bit tricky. When we say a little bit tricky, it just means that we've got to use our judgment a little bit more. Because for argument's sake, let's just say that we've got two houses on the same street. We've got one on 100,000, and then the one you're looking at is 120,000. But we can't find any of the comparables for 120,000. So we need to have a look at what is it that makes your property that little bit more different? What is it that's going to make that property stand out for additional £20,000? You know, has it got that additional extension on? Has it got that conservatory on? You know, what is it that they're good, that they have added value to that property? Because you need to compare. In an ideal world, you always want to try and compare the same kind of property. Now, if that property's got a conservatory on and the others haven't, naturally that's going to add value to the property. But you've got to ask yourself the question, is it £20,000 more? If possible, you want a comparable in the same street. If nothing has sold in the last year, then you'll have to look at adjacent streets. If you know the area, you'll know if this is an accurate comparison. One thing that I would like to say is that here is where agents will become your best friends. They have to become your best friends because naturally, over a number of years, agents would have been up and down near enough all streets in that whole town or city valuing properties up for sale, whether they've gone up for sale, whether they've gone up for rent, whether people were thinking about selling them. They've gone to near enough every property in the city. And the one thing that they will have is a very good indication for what has sold in that location. Now, if you're comparing the same type of property on the same street but different sale conditions, then you'll need to know what the property will be worth after the refurb. And we're talking about lots of different things. When we're talking about deal trading can come under lots of different forms. So what is deal trading? Deal trading is that we are trading someone else's asset that we may have simply had control of. So whether it may be below market value, whether it may be a lease option, whether it may be a rent-to-rent opportunity, we still need to know the figures of what they're worth. Whether it's a rental valuation, whether it's a sales valuation, whether we need to know, what we think it's worth today and what it may be worth in the future for a lease option. Or whether it's a refurb opportunity, whether it's a flip opportunity. So what is it worth today? So we need to pretty much work our figures backwards. And we've done an example here tonight. So let's just say the market value after a refurb. So I call this all singing, all dancing. So the house all singing, all dancing after the refurb is worth £100,000. But we reckon the refurb is going to be around £15,000. So the market value for that property in its current condition today is approximately £85,000. Now this is simple mathematics. Let's not beat ourselves up about this. This is very simple stuff. Everyone can do this. If you negotiate anything less than the £85,000, you've now got that property at below market value, because we've identified that the market value for that property in that location is approximately £85,000. But what we need is at least 3 comparables to accurately measure the market value. So what we need here is 3 properties in that location to suggest that all singing, all dancing, it will be worth around the £100,000 mark. Because the one thing that you don't want to do is put on your happy ears. Because when you do this, if you get your figures wrong as the deal trader, it can come back to haunt you massively. Because the last thing that you want is to sell a property to a person and they come back to you and say, sorry, okay, unfortunately, the figures that you quoted aren't the figures that you suggested. So you need to really be able to be on top of your game. You don't want to just say, okay, it's going to be worth £120,000. You can spend it. You can buy it for 85. You can spend 15 on it. That's going to take it to 100, and then it's going to be worth £120,000 because someone does that and they buy it off you for 85 and they spend 15 on it and it's only worth £100,000 after it. Guess what? They've lost money. They've lost money because they've probably spent money buying it off you. They've probably spent money doing it up. They've probably spent money trying to sell it, and they're then going to be stuck with an asset which they've then pretty much got at full market valuation. Now, with property, especially with trading, you have to be extremely careful. Sorry, I've got to apologise because I don't know why it keeps chipping away as it does like this. We've got to be extremely careful because you want we have to make sure that we've got the right numbers. We need to remove the emotion from the purchase so that you make better decisions. Now, as far as I'm concerned, every property deal that I do is numbers on a spreadsheet. There is no emotion attached to it. When you buy with emotion, you will get stung and you will lose money. I've been there, I've done that. So what you have to do is value conservatively. If you do, you'll never lose money. Now, I'll give you an example of how people with emotion lose money in property. How many times have you been to an auction and you've gone there with a set price that you're going to go up to? So you've seen that house, you think, well, to be fair, I went to an auction last Tuesday just gone. And I thought, yeah, okay, property I thought was 80, I thought no more, it's not going to fetch any more than £100,000, best price. Best price 100 grand. It's going to need around 40 grand's worth of work on it, and I reckon it's going to be worth around 170, all singing, all dancing. So I put a bit of money in there for the margin for me. So I thought if I buy it for 100, after I spent 40 on it, if I put it back on the open market for 170, 175 with a view of achieving around 170, I'm going to make around 30 grand on it, which isn't a bad return on investment. And got into the room straight away. 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, I'm in. 80,000, I'm in. 90,000, I'm in. 100,000, yeah, okay, I'm in. 105, I started bidding, started realizing that I'm going completely out of, and I started to bid with emotion. And I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. But then people were bidding against me. And these were people that I actually knew. 105, 110, 120, 130, 140, £174,000 that property sold for. There's nowhere, it's never going to, 174,000, and on top of that, they've then got to spend 40 grand doing it up. That takes it into, 215,000, plus all their buying and their selling costs. It's going to take them into the best part of £230,000. There's no way that property is ever going to sell for that kind of money. They're losing money. And the reason they've lost money on that deal, because they bought with emotion. And you see it in auction time after time after time. So you've got to be extremely cautious about this. Now, why would someone sell you their house cheap? Remember, tonight we're looking at Gumtree. Now, in excess of Gumtree, there's so many other ways of finding deals. So we've got Gumtree, we've got, for argument's sake, I know it sounds daft, there's social media, there's online methods. We deal with agents, we deal with letting agents, we deal with estate agents, we deal with auction houses, we deal with direct to vendor. So why would any of these people try and sell their house? The reason we talk about this is because we need to understand what their biggest reason is. Now, I use two words on a day-to-day basis whilst in my property journey. Talk about pain and motivation, and we're going to be talking about these shortly. Because the first thing that you need to do is understand what is their reason and why is it that they're looking to move. Because sometimes their reason for moving is greater than the price that they're actually looking to achieve. Now, I'm going to give you an example tonight. Example being is that, and for argument's sake, you may be able to relate to this. Now, just imagine that you're going through a sticky patch with your partner. You're going through a bit of a divorce. And the only thing that is tying you two together is this house. House that you've probably had on the market for a long time. You've had lots of people come to view it. And the offer, you've not had any offers on it. Maybe it's not in the right location. Maybe it needs some work doing to it. But everything that you've tried, you put it on the open market, you've tried reducing it, and it's just not shifting. It's not shifting in timescale that you require. And this is the only thing that's sticking together. We're going to use this as an example. Now, when we talk about the reason for moving is greater than the price, because if the couple's getting divorced, the only thing that's keeping them together is this house, and that's also part of the settlement. And their desire to move on with their lives is greater than the house sale or the price. There is a price that they're going to need, and that price that they're going to need is the figure that we need to understand. What is it that they need to pay off the mortgage? What is it they need to pay off the lawyer? Because everything else in excess of that is a bonus. We've got to understand what is their motivation for wanting to do the deal. Because if they can sell the house for what they need quickly, then they'll be happy. Because if you're putting a price on their happiness, what is that value? And you've got to really understand that, because so many people get fixated on the price. So many people get fixated on, it's worth, the market value is £200,000. I've got to offer them £170,000. £170,000 to do the deal. Or if you're trying to get it at, let's just say for argument's sake, 30% below market value, I've got to offer them £140,000. Too many people get too fixated on this, and admittedly, this was me prior to the crash in 2008. Between the year 2000 and 2006, I was an out-and-out property trader, selling approximately 30 deals a month. 30 deals a month. And I would only look at deals that were 30% below market value or more. Anything in excess, anything less than that, I say, sorry, I can't help you, and move on. And that was my naivety. That was my naivety. If I look back at it now, I probably missed out on tens of millions of pounds worth of property that we didn't do anything with. But, because then I wasn't educated enough to look at stuff like rent opportunities and also lease option opportunities. Now, when we talk about pain and motivation, no one really wants to sell their house for less than what it's actually worth. No one wants to actually sell you their house at a discount because they like you. They will sell you their house cheap for their own selfish reasons. And that is their pain and their motivation. Now, your job as a property trader, as a property sourcer, is to become a problem solver, to understand what they're paying, understand and find out what they're paying, the motivation is, and find the best possible solution. Does that make 100% sense? You have to, if you're going in there simply to try and steal the deal, you will not succeed at property trading. You will not succeed at deal sourcing because you have gone in with the wrong mindset from day one. Let's make that 100% clear. And if you were to put me and you in the same room, I would like to think that 9 times out of 10, I would walk away with the property because I have understood the reason for disposal. Now, if you can help them get what they want faster than anyone else, they will want to work with you. Now, the ultimate vendor questions, because one of the biggest things that the homeowner is going to ask when they first meet you is straight away they're going to want to know what do you reckon the first question is that they're going to want to know? Does anyone, just so that I can check in with you guys, does anyone want to know what's the first question that someone's going to want to ask? Okay, so straight away someone's coming with price. Yeah, great. So just so that I've got you, I just want to make, I don't understand why this keeps flicking like this, but anyway. Straight away, Mitesh is going to say, yeah, price. How much are your finance lined at? How much will you pay? How much? Okay, brilliant. So, because that's the question that you need to dodge. Straight away, you need to dodge that question. Sorry, I'm going to just shift that out of the way. I'm going to come back to questions shortly because that's the question box that keeps getting in my way. So, you can't simply ask the homeowner why they're desperate to move when you first meet them. The biggest thing about deal trading is rapport building because their reason is likely to be personal and painful, so they're not going to initially tell a stranger. How many times have you been in and have you literally just gone in, walked in and said, okay, your house is worth £100,000, I'm going to offer you £70,000 today? It doesn't happen. See, what you need to do is you need to take your time. You need to get to know them. You need to elegantly engage and approach this area. That's why the ultimate vendor questions that I'm going to give you at tonight's online training will help you with this. Now, everyone should hopefully be able to relate to this, whether you own a property, whether you're renting a property. Moving house, whether you've sold it, whether you're moving into a rental, is without a doubt one of the most stressful things in our lives. Now, one thing that we do as a problem solver, we need to make it as easy as possible for the homeowner to move. We need to be able to jump through some hoops. We need to be able to do it within a time scale to choose them. We need to potentially tell them that they can leave all their junk in their house and we'll clear it for them. We need to potentially offer to pay their legal fees and potentially recommend a solicitor helping them with the paperwork. Because this way, what you're doing, you're becoming almost like a one-stop shop. How many times in my emails have you seen that we can arrange the finance for you? We've got the legal team in place to be able to assist you with that. We've also got the letting agent and we've also got the builders that can assist you with that. That's exactly the same process as to when you're selling the deal, as to when you're buying the deal, as to when you're negotiating the deal. Because you need to be able to put in place all the bits of the jigsaw so that everyone can understand that this is a hassle-free transaction. You guys as investors, when you're reading my emails, you're thinking, well, okay, this seems like a good deal because Arsh is dealing with it all for me. He's found me a good property. Some properties are already occupied, so he's going to find me a great letting agent in that location. It's going to be hassle-free. It's going to be a hands-off transaction. And this is the same when it comes to vendors. They want a hassle-free transaction. They want to know that once they've shook their hands with you, they're going to go off and they're going to literally be able to not have to deal with much else. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to head over to Gumtree and show you how to find deals directly to the owner right now. Because all I need to know is what town you want me to look in and if you'd like me to make the call. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live call tonight. What we can try and do is, so does someone want to give me an area? So let's have a quick look. Okay, straight away. Some people have come straight in. Right, let's have a quick look. Um, okay, we're going to choose two areas. So I'm going to choose the first two that came in straight away. So we've got Farnborough and we've got Macclesfield. So let's quickly go to, okay, Farnborough. So I'm looking for property to for sale in Farnborough. So straight away. Uh, so straight away, it's got, okay, this isn't going to be great. Okay, interesting. So Farnborough, admittedly, has got one property for sale, which is Farnborough, Hampshire, which is not great. Couldn't have gone any worse. Fantastic. No, okay. So anyway, tell you what we're going to do. Hang on, let's have a quick look. So I don't want to really buy an Indian takeaway. Okay, I'll tell you what we will do. Right, this is interesting. So I can't make this stuff up. I really can't make this stuff up. So first things first. So we've got Ralph, who's been posting for the last 4 months. He's got an Indian takeaway. It looks lovely. Looks lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so here's what I'm interested in. Okay, so it's great business been running. It's been a great success due to private circumstances. No able to run the business, want to sell it. The business has plenty of parking. I used to do it before changing it to Peri Peri. Right, okay. Shop has been renovated 6 months ago. On top of it, there are 4 bedrooms, kitchen, and a toilet. Rent for the shop is $1,200 a month. Furthermore, the business has a 10-year lease. Okay, so he doesn't own the building. He only owns the lease. So he's after, what is he after? He's after 65,000 for the lease. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a furthermore business has a, so it's a 6.5. He wants 65 grand for a 10-year lease. Okay, what's interesting is that potentially, is it a good deal? Ideally not. But what I will say to you is that in this right-hand corner here, all you have to do is press reveal, and we've got direct deal to Ralph. Now, what I would like someone to do is, now, in actual fact, I'm going to allocate this to Geraldine. Geraldine, now you chose Farnborough. Now, on your head be it. I want you to call Ralph, and I want you to literally speak to them and say, okay, well, I've seen that you've got this business. You need to understand what we've just gone on, what we've spoken about: pain, motivation, building rapport. And as a result of that, I then want you to check back in with me on this webinar, and I want you to tell me what you found about this property. He's already told us a little bit about his pain. He goes that I'm no longer able to run the business, and therefore, due to personal circumstances. Now, he's not going to spill his beans out over the phone as to why it hasn't happened, but what I want you to do in hindsight is go and find out who he is, what he's all about, and move on. Does that make sense? Whilst you're doing that, so just so that you know, Geraldine, you've got his phone number, which is on the screen in this corner here. And whilst you do that, I'm going to then go to Macclesfield and deal with, hopefully, Paul Bale's inquiry. And remember, when you do this, you don't have to just do property for sale. You could also do rent to rent. So you could also do properties for to let. So, and also find rent to rent deals direct to the owner. Right, okay. This is honestly not going great. Studio flat, interesting. Ground floor flat, okay, that's for rent. Okay, so property to let for okay, so there's 5 adverts for properties to rent in Macclesfield. So we've got 1 bedroom, kiosk, okay, over 55. Now, for argument's sake, let's just use studio flat, 4-bedroom house. I'll tell you what we will do. The one thing, so all of these are all with an agency. Tell you what, we're going to go somewhere. Let's go, we're going to go somewhere else where I want to show you how to get directly to the owner. And we're going to use here Vicky. So here we go. So property to rent, 664 adverts. Now, one thing that you want to do is you want to filter it through and you want to go directly private. You don't want to deal with anyone other than the private. So you don't want to deal with the agencies. You've got 222. You've got 222 properties that you could go there. So again, you could then filter it from houses. So we want houses. Here we go. So all these houses, technically speaking, according to the filter right now, according to the filter right now of properties that are to let directly to the owner. So here we go. Let's just choose this one, 4-bedroom house, West Derby. Okay, so Win, you can only contact Win via email, which is not great. Let's have a quick look at someone else. 3-bedroom house, Kirkdale. Alice, you can only contact via email. Great. This is going fantastically well, by the way, guys. There we go. Email, Win. Okay, so Win may be an agent, which is quite interesting because she's got quite a few properties, and she's got a 4-bedroom house at £795 a month. Now you've got to calculate, would that work as a potential rent deal? Let's just have a quick look to see. Are we direct? Let's just make sure I've got private. Yeah, we've got private. Let's see if this one. So here we go. 3-bedroom house to let, £600 a month. Mike and Vicky, what I'd like you to do there, all I've done is I've pressed reveal, and we've got a direct contact number for a landlord that's potentially looking to rent his house. Close to the city's hospital, 10-minute walk, and university campus. Ideal for 3 or 4 students sharing. Fully secured and alarmed. Property has long-standing friendly neighbours. Guaranteed reference will be required. No agency fees to pay. So he is the direct owner. So you've got a 3-bedroom house there, potentially turned into a 4-bed HMO. Again, Vicky, what the whole point of tonight's webinar. Okay, so Geraldine has said Ralph left a message on the answer phone. Okay, so so loads of people said, can we try different locations? And I could potentially spend all night. So someone said, houses for sale, and this will be the last one before we move on with it in Leeds. So this one's for you, Margaret. So 126 adverts for properties for sale. Now again, we're going to go to private, yeah. And again, these houses for property for sale. Property for sale. There's got to be. Hang on. Large 3-bed. These are for rent. Okay, commercial building. Let's have a quick look. 3-bedroom houses are for sale. Property for sale. I don't know why this is. Hang on. It's going to rent for sale. That's why. Daft sod. Okay, so file security lies. And let's just quickly go. Cheshire. This doesn't normally happen, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Right, okay. Because everything is down there 0. But I bet you if you have a look tomorrow, there's an issue with the algorithm there. There's an issue with the algorithm there. There's no reason why that would as it is for sale, because you find in Cardiff, let's just have a look. There must be an issue with Gumtree. I bet you if you check in the morning, there we go. 64 houses for sale in Gumtree. Okay, we've come up with dull houses. Fantastic. No, that's not right. There's got to be an issue with Gumtree. Residential property for sale. Okay, so some people then, there we go, and then we're private, here we go, so we go to private. Okay. So Andrea there, she's adding she's selling her own property. Perfect one. Da, 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 da. She's selling her own property. Big garden that needs some work. Now you could email her directly and ask her for her contact details, but again, you're direct to the owner, and there's a number of different ways. Well, let's have a quick look here. Uh, so she says to arrange a viewing, please email. So you could email her directly, but you can get direct to vendor on pretty much all deals. Let's just have a quick look. So guys, admittedly, it hasn't got. Okay, so Geraldine says, what is private? So Geraldine says, what is private? When it says private, so basically you've got agency, which is that what estate agency would offer, or you got private, which is private directly to the owner. So there would be, so you could speak to any of the owners directly. So you've got all their phone numbers in that location, phone number and email directly, so you can move forward with them and you can actually pick up the phone to them that evening. So the reason why Gumtree is only one of the methods that we use to find deals, and admittedly, it hasn't gone according to plan, which that's part of the live broadcast. That not everything will go according to plan, but you've seen just how easy it is that you can find deals in your location on just as a portal as Gumtree. Now you've seen that within a 5-minute search, and what we could have done is we could have done a live call, how you can book a meeting with the homeowner, and from that call you'll know how motivated they are or how they're not motivated. You know how to calculate the market value of the property before you go and see them by looking at what the marketing value is, what the realistic market valuation is, and what the hope value is. And with less than an hour's work, you'll know the maximum price you can offer for this property before you even go to the property. Does that kind of make sense? Because you can now turn your lunch break into a financial freedom hour. The reason why I say that, because if you're able to book 5 meetings a week and see all the homeowners on the weekend, how many deals do you reckon you can do in a week? Now, with all due respect, no one is a bottomless pit of cash. Do you have all the money to buy one deal a week? Because if you can't buy them all yourself, how about if you help the homeowner and help yourself by trading the deal for a fee? And this is where deal trading comes in, because with deal trading, you don't have to own any of the property. You simply control it. All you do is you literally say to the owner, okay, I'm not your end purchaser, but I know someone who is. I know a man who can. And so as a result of that, what you're doing, you're making a fee for every deal that you trade. Does that make sense? Because you don't have to own the property anymore. You don't have to do the legal work. You don't have to go through getting the mortgage. You don't have to move forward with trying to acquire the property. You can make just as much money from simply controlling the property. Now, I am going to tell you about a deal trading workshop, but like I said, we've got still a lot of content to get through. I'm running a 2-day workshop where I reveal the step-by-step process to find and trade property deals so that you can make £5,000 a month cash flow without buying a property. Plus, you get all the contracts, the deal analyzers, scripts to get started the very next day. So, these are the things that I think you should break your deal trading down into anyway. So, it's broken into 8 sections, which is the overview. This is where you should examine your role as a deal trader, why you are seen as much more than an alternative estate agent. Because remember, as a deal trader, you are in essence almost like a glorified estate agent. You find the opportunity, you put together the opportunity, and you sell the opportunity. And as a result of that, you'll understand that you are actually a property problem solver. I'll show you how to use this understanding to change the way you speak with homeowners and how this will give you more deals and financial freedom faster than you thought possible. We'll also examine the four-step deal trading system and how all the moving parts fits together. Now, economics is a big part because this is where you have to understand what is your worth. You know, what is the fee that you can charge for each deals that you source? Because if you get this wrong, you'll either struggle to sell your deals or you'll work for less than what you're worth. Now, in some of the deals that you see, for argument's sake, a standard house with a bit of a discount, you may charge anywhere from £1,000 to £3,000. For a property that's already an income generation HMO, you may charge anything up to £5,000. For a land opportunity, it could be, you know, starting between £5,000 and £10,000. For development opportunity with a mass of development, you know, opportunity and capital uplift, you could be charging £30,000 plus. You need to make sure that you are charging the correct figure for what you're worth. We'll also calculate the amount of deals that you need to replace your salary to give you financial freedom. Now, analysis is a big part. This is where we've learned how to let the numbers tell you if you found a good deal. It's almost like saying the computer says yes or no. Remember, the numbers don't lie. Emotions carry us to bad decisions. Now, I've got spreadsheets that pretty much tell you to the nth degree, is this a good deal or not? Because I'll show you how to accurately measure the market value of the property in exactly the same way as a surveyor. I'll show you how to use my deal analysis spreadsheet. If a deal stacks up as running through this assault course, then you'll never have a problem trading it. Now, because the one thing that we look at is returns on investments. That's what we look at as the analysis. Now, for types of deals, there are 5 different types of deals that you can trade. So that means that every time you look at a property, you should be able to identify, is it a deal or not? Most people only look for BMV deals, which is why they struggle to reach the income they desire. By looking for multiple types of deals, you'll never be short of opportunities, and the property cash flow will grow faster than you dare to dream. And just give me an example now. When you go to meet a property, let's just say that the owner, let's say the value is £100,000, but in an ideal world, you wanted to purchase it for £70,000. Now, if the owner's got a mortgage on it at £85,000, can they really afford to sell it you for £70,000? The honest answer is no. So in that respect, what do? Do you walk away with the deal, or do you walk away from them saying, thank you very much, but I can't help you? Or do you then present them with another opportunity to a manner which you can package it, which allows you to then control the property, and then also you make a fee from it? You've also helped the owner, and you've also helped the new purchaser get a fantastic deal. This is where the mindset changes. This is where you really have to shift in your mindset to go above and beyond to help everyone in the deal, in the actual flow. Now, there are, believe it or not, 21 different ways to source deals. I can't go through all 21s in 90 minutes. Impossible. You can just use one of them to reach your property cash flow, or you can use all of them. The choice is actually yours. Because the one thing that I do when I go to a property, I'm very quick thinking. I'm thinking consistently, thinking, okay, so it doesn't reach that model. Can I use it for this model? Okay, we can't do it there. Okay, can we do this? Every way, I'm trying to think, what's the best way that we can achieve a real win-win scenario for everyone involved? Will I still make my fee on it? Yes. Will the owner still sell their property? Yes. Will the purchaser have a fantastic property to buy? Yes. Tick, tick, tick. Everyone wins. But before you start sacrificing your weekends, we need to look at all the different strategies to fit into your lifestyle. Now, give me an example of that. So for argument's sake, I run a group called the Elite Property Tribe. And what we do there is we take property investors like yourselves, we teach them all the different methods. Now, some will not be too comfortable with picking up the phone. Others will be more comfortable with writing letters. Others will be more comfortable picking up the phone and doing that killer instinct on the phone. I can do that. I can pick up the phone to anyone, and I'm comfortable with having a conversation with anyone, regardless of their circumstances. And I do this on with my training with my mentees on the what they called the real trading calls. We do that every Wednesday. But what you need to do, if you really want to get the best deals for your own portfolio and trade the rest, then you'll need a local strategy. Now, for argument's sake, well, I don't know if that's 100% true, because you might decide, well, okay, I'm based in London, but you know, anything that we find in London, I'm going to keep. Anything elsewhere is, you know, naturally you're going to trade. Now, with my portfolio, all my portfolios in the West Midlands, everything else around the West Midlands that we find, we trade. That's my mindset. If you want to source and trade deals from the comfort of your sofa, then all you need to do is use different strategies. Now, I'm going to show you how to master each strategy, how to show you the right ones which are right for your situations. Now, number 6 is really important because you can generate all the deals in the world, but if you don't know how to close them, those deals that you've generated are kind of pointless. Because generating leads is one thing, closing them is completely different. And this is where the problem solving mindset gives you the measurable results in the form of more deals and bigger discounts. Because I'll show you how to use the homeowners or the estate agents' pain and motivation to effortlessly negotiate jaw-dropping discounts. Now, list building. Again, deal trading is like a double-edged sword. You can have all the deals in the world, but if you've got no one to buy them, your deals are just going to sit there. And then on the other side of it, you could have all the buyers in the world, but if you've got no deals to service them with, you've got no deal trading business. So you need to basically have both parties running side by side. You need to be sourcing deals and you need to also be list building. You need to build a list, an audience of hungry buyers. So if you're going to, so that every deal that you get, you can sell it quickly. The quickest and easiest solution is to sell your deal to my database. Admittedly, I've got no issue with doing that, and you know we'll talk about that shortly. If you want to make the most income, then you'll need to build your own database of property investors. I'll show you how you can do this quickly and cheaply. And finally, number 8, selling the property, selling the opportunity. This is where I'll show you what information you need to show investors to sell your deal quickly, and what information you must never include or risk being cut out of the deal. More importantly, what contracts you've got to have in place with the vendor, what contracts you've got to have in place, what documents you've got to have in place with the purchaser, and how you get paid at the first point of contact so that you don't get cut out of the deal. And as well as that, we get, for argument's sake, I'm going to tell you, as well as that, you get my lockout agreement, which is drawn up by my solicitors. You get my BMV deal analysis spreadsheets. You get my rent-to-rent spreadsheets. You get my introduction agreements. You get my templates. You get my posters. You get my letter sequence, and you get my proven newspaper adverts, as well as the ultimate questions guide. Now, one thing I am going to give you, one thing I'm going to show you, but I can't give you. This is only. Let me just have a quick look here. Agents. So I've got some blueprints here, agents and vendors. So I'm going to just show you quickly. Oh man, skip. See if it'll allow me to do this. So what I'll do is, how do I do this now? I'll tell you what. Is it PDF? Okay. So I've got a flowchart. So I'm going to quickly show you that. That's my whole blueprint as to what you do, as to how to get deals, and that's what we'll be throwing into the workshop as well. So you get a whole blueprint as to what to do, how to do, and where to go. Now, normally, if you're to do stuff like this now, if you try to join the Elite Property Tribe, but unfortunately you couldn't get through, that costs £6,000. But not a lot of people could do that. We only left it open for opportunity, I think it was 30 people. Now, what we're looking to do is we're going to give someone the opportunity to get quick results with 21 different sourcing techniques, and give you financial freedom out to convert your lunch break to produce cash flow opportunities within 3 months. Allow you to negotiate bigger discounts and agree more deals by understanding the customer's pain and motivation, by giving them the perfect solution. And the cheapest and the easiest way to build an investor database so that you too can sell all your deals in a day and you get to keep all your own sourcing fee, and how to reduce the 4-step system to just one when you JV with me. There's going to be opportunity for you to JV with me so that you can sell your deals to my database, giving you a guaranteed buyer, plus the fastest way to make your property cash flow. And the bonus is that anyone that attends a workshop, you then get a 4-hour roundtable mastermind session with me in my office in Wolverhampton. and that's there to help you iron out any kinks, to help you implement the system. If you're struggling to find deals, all you got to do is pick up the phone, and we can call agents together. By the end of the day, you'll be able to be pushed out of your comfort zone and into results. But this is only for the first 10 buyers only, because it's a practical session and it shakes you out of your comfort zone. So why do you need the course? Because then what I am going to do, I'm going to tell you about some people that have done this who are not actually in the country. So these people, these property secrets only become valuable once you use them. Doing anything for the first time is hard and uncomfortable. I appreciate that, because, you know, with all due respect, you guys, you may not have done this before, and you're thinking, well, you know what, this seems like a bit too much like hard work. Believe it or not, guys, this is not hard work. If I can tell you about some of the people that I've actually pulled through over the last 30 days with some of the deals that we're going to talk about shortly, you're going to see that anyone can do this. The mastermind is my way of running behind you for the first time you get on a bike, so I can catch you before you fall. Now, the reason why I say that is because when you first get on your bike, it's a little bit wobbly. You're not sure where you're going to go, how you're going to go. But if you've got someone pushing you and trying to push you out your comfort zone and holding you all the way, there's no reason why you wouldn't succeed. I want to push you through your comfort zone. Now, one thing that I do with all my training is that I'm so confident with the content that we give is that I give you 100% money back guarantee. And if you decide to attend the workshop, which is on 22nd and 23rd of July, if you're not happy with it at the end of the first day one, all you have to do is come up to me and say, Arsh, I'm not happy with it, and I give you 100% your money back guarantee. The guarantee is designed to earn the trust of committed property investors. It's not to attract get-rich-quick dreamers. I'll be completely honest with that. If that's you, then unfortunately, that's not for me. It's not for whiners that are too busy to take consistent action in their property business. Remember, I spoke about at the start of this webinar, this month, I could have done lots of things to distract myself away from deal trading. Oh no, I'm too hungry today. I'm too thirsty today. Oh, I've got a migraine because I haven't been eaten for the last 18 hours. Oh, I haven't slept because during Ramadan, I used to go to mosque from 11 o'clock in the evening till 1 o'clock in the morning. And then my daughters wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning, meaning that I've only got an average between 4 and 5 hours sleep at night. I'm not after whiners. I'm after people who are committed. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. I don't talk about things. And the reason why I can say that so elegantly and without being too confident is because you guys see it on a day-to-day basis. You guys see the action that I put out there every day. I want people who are not afraid to get out of their comfort zone and try something new, because believe it or not, with buy-to-let landlords falling out of the market because of all the new tax legislations, they've got to find a new way of providing a new income. Are you a HMO investor that has experienced property success, but you need a faster way to dramatically increase your property cash flow? Are you new to property and you're looking for the fastest way to replace your salary? If you've answered yes to any of the above, then you need the deal trading bootcamp, because it's designed for ambitious property investors who want to become financially free. You don't need experience. So I'm going to be 100% on that, saying you don't need experience. What you do need, you don't actually need any mountains of cash either. In actual fact, you don't need any money at all. You don't need to quit your job. I'm not going to tell you to go out there and quit your job. You just need the desire to have a better quality life. And you've got to have the ability to give all that you can to the proven system to find and trade property deals. So what we're going to do is I'm running a workshop on the 22nd and 23rd of July. It's called the Deal Trading Bootcamp. And in the Deal Trading Bootcamp, what I am actually saying to you is that I'm going to show you exactly what to do and how to get direct to vendor lead. Well, not only, tell a lie, not only direct to vendor, we're going to be talking direct to estate agents, direct to letting agents, direct to vendor, and then we're going to be showing you how to identify the opportunity, what to look for in the opportunity, how to appraise the opportunity, how to package the opportunity, and how to sell the opportunity. And you get all this in the no money back guarantee. in the guaranteed money back guarantee, which is happening on 22nd, 23rd of July, and the link to book on is simply below there. It's bit.ly/deal trading bootcamp. Now, can you do it? Now, remember we talked about excuses. Now, I'm going to show you 3 people now who had an excuse as to why they shouldn't do this. But I'm going to give you 3 examples of how they put the excuses to one side, and they've gone off and do this. They've gone off and done this. Now, Russell Boakes, here he is on the right-hand side. He's a semi-retired property investor who decided to take an 18-month holiday in sunny Marbella. He called me, he goes, Arsh, he goes, I want to do deal trading, but I'm out of the country. Can it happen? Yes, it can, Russell. He goes, I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but I'm going to try it anyway. After a few weeks of relaxation, Russell wanted a new challenge. So he wanted to build a property strategy that would fit around his lifestyle. And what he wanted was a property business that could build anywhere in the world, and a property business that he could start and stop at any time. So in May of this year, I showed Russell the secrets to trade deals. In less than 6 weeks, Russell has traded 3 deals, which has made him in excess of 9 grand of sourcing fees. So that's just 3 deals in 6 weeks. I've got, okay, so Theo's asked a question, and I'll answer it shortly, my friend. So Arsh showed me how a variety of online tools to build a property business that I can run from Marbella or anywhere in the world. All my deals have been sourced at auction and have been sold to Arsh's investor database. Selling deals to Arsh's database has made the deal trading process quick and easy. He's amazed that in 6 weeks he's gone from knowing nothing about deal trading to already selling 3 deals, making 9 grand in fees, all whilst living in Marbella. So he doesn't even live in the country. He's not even seen a single one of the properties. This is the ultimate property freedom strategy that can be done from anywhere in the world and can be stopped at any time. If you really want to build a deal trading business, all you got to do is follow Arsh's system and you will succeed. Now, here's another chap. Now, when we talk about your reason why, when we talk about how busy we are, I don't know a person busier than this young gentleman on the right. Now, Raheel is a mechanical engineer that's working in Saudi Arabia on a short-term contract. Raheel works a brutal 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, to extremely tight deadlines. Working 72 hours a week, it's fair to say that he doesn't have a lot of free time. Now, his challenge was very simple. He called me and goes, Arsh, can I make this work? And I said, Raheel, only you can make this work because you're limited on time. But, you know, he goes, okay. He goes, don't worry about time. I will find time because I need to make this work. His challenge was very simple, and we broke it down into 4 simple steps. He needed to build a UK property business whilst living in Saudi Arabia. He needed to build a property business without a deposit because he didn't have the funds to do so. He needed to build a property business with a demanding 72 hours a week job, and he needed to build a property business without neglecting his family. And in 3 months, Raheel made over £15,000 in sourcing fees without actually viewing the property. Well, how could he? He's in Saudi Arabia. All the properties that he found are in the UK. He's in Saudi Arabia. So when we talk about excuses, if you're in the UK and you're saying that you haven't got time, you need to take a look at this young man on the screen right now. Because this is all his words, by the way. Arsh gave me the support and advice, everything that I needed before trying something new. Through speaking with Arsh, asking lots of detailed questions, I found the confidence to get out of my comfort zone and build a property trading business. All my deals have been sold through Arsh, and they've been sold in less than a day. This makes deal trading a very simple process because all I have to do is find the deal and Arsh takes care of the rest. After 3 months trading deals in my spare time, I'm making more money from property than I am in my full-time job. Now, here's a really aspirational character. Let me introduce you to Alfred, because in 2006, the life that Alfred knew was taken from him by cancer. Fortunately, Alfred survived. There's just one problem. He was advised by his doctor not to continue doing building work. So he needed to now figure out a new way to earn a living that wouldn't damage his health. He'd been working in construction for 10 years, watching property developers make a fortune, and decided to throw his hat into the ring. Alfred got educated, he took action and started buying terraced houses and rented them as single lets. And in 2 years, to be fair to him, he built a decent little portfolio of 9 single lets. But he had, what had happened, he had previously had become what he had previously envied, a property investor. But there's just one problem. His portfolio was not giving him the living cash flow. So he started looking at other opportunities, such as online affiliate marketing programs, such as Amazon and eBay. But then he was running 4 different kinds of businesses. And it gave him a good income, but he was working long hours. In 4 months, Alfred has traded 5 deals and made 20 grand in sourcing fees. That's an average monthly income of 5 grand. And again, in his words, Arsh's training is very detailed. Admittedly, I'm quite tough on Alfred because he has got so much more potential that he gives himself credit for. He is what I would say is a real deal trading machine. He's got this knack of speaking to vendors and they give him exclusivity to the property without even trying. He gets some fantastic discounts. Some of the deals that he gets, he's in the, at the moment as we speak, and as God is my witness, he spoke to me on Friday and he's in the process of signing up a portfolio deal of £4 million on a lease option because the vendor is looking to retire. And so with the lease option, I'm not sure if you know, but £4 million portfolio. So, and all of it is already cash flow generating and income producing. Now, all he's done is followed the training to a T. He goes, the training minimizes your risk and takes the emotion out of the investing. I've taught him how the numbers don't lie. This is the perfect way to make sure that your excitement at finding a deal doesn't lead to bad decisions. Excuse me. Arsh's deal analysis system is so good that an estate agent called me to find out how to accurately calculate the bills for an HMO. This gives me the confidence to speak with agents and homeowners knowing that I am the expert in the room. Trading deals has given me the income boost that I wanted to mean that I no longer have to work in 4 different businesses. Property now has my full attention and it's given me a luxury income with less work. I now have the time to be with my family that I always wanted. Now here's another gentleman, Daryl Hatfield. He started deal trading in June 2016 and he took the concept of solving property problems at a profit to its limits. Now, what I like about Daryl, he goes that numbers doesn't bother me. Now, in one deal, he managed to buy a £3.2 million property collection with no money down and enjoyed just over 10.5 grand of monthly cash flow, making £864,000 of equity of security for his future. He's repeated his success with another equally complicated deal, a land deal with 13 different titles, been in dispute for 23 years. He's made several £100,000 from this one deal. He likes doing complicated deals. He likes being the problem solver. He likes to understand the problem and solve it for the owner. And this is what I liked about his testimony. He goes, Arsh gets you into a mindset of possibilities. The most powerful thing that I've learned from Arsh is to look for the owner's pain and motivation. That might not sound much, but that is where the gold is. Once you understand the owner's pain and motivation, you can find a real win-win solution. Find the problem, create a solution, and make a fortune in the process. Success really is as simple as that, and that's his own words. Now, let's go back to some of what we asked earlier. Are they any different to you? Are any of these guys that we've just mentioned any different to you? No, they're not. That's the simple answer. All they've done, they represent property investors across the country with the same passion and skills as you do. The only difference is that they put their doubts aside for long enough to give this a try, with results that almost defy belief. Now, Russell traded 3 deals in 6 months and made 9 grand. Raheel traded his first deal within a month, went to trade 15 deals in 3 months. Alfred traded 5 deals in 4 months, made £20,000 in source of it. Daryl pulled off 2 impossible deals in 6 months and made over £1 million. You've got to ask yourself the question now, don't you owe it to yourself to learn these deal trading secrets at no risk to you? The reason why I say no risk to you, because I'm actually offering you a money-back guarantee. A money-back guarantee that if you don't like it on the day 1 of the workshop, You just ask me and you get your money back. Don't you owe it to yourself to reduce the 4-step process to 1 so that you can learn and succeed? Now, keep moving on. So it is on the 22nd and 23rd of July. It is in Birmingham. The link for it is down below. bit.ly/deal trading bootcamp. Now, I appreciate that not everyone can attend in person. So what we've done is we've broken it down in a number of different ways. So not everyone can attend in person, but therefore we want everyone to get involved. So first way is that you can attend in person, take advantage of the networking opportunity. Second thing is that you could live stream it from the comfort of your own home. So you don't actually have to be there yourself. You could watch it from the comfort of your own home like you do now, but you actually see the video of us. As the whole event will be recorded, you actually get a copy of the recording, which come with all the associated documents for your future. So if you forget something, you can say, well, in actual fact, let's go back and watch it again. And what we're going to be doing, I'm so confident in what we're offering, we've created something unique. So we're going to do a 30-day deal trading, a challenge. So anyone that comes on the workshop, thereafter, I'm going to set you a challenge. So you're going to come on the workshop, thereafter you're going to come on a 4-hour roundtable, and we're going to then do a 30-day mentorship challenge. So I'm going to see how many deals you guys can put together in 30 days from what you've seen and heard. So after that, you get a 2-hour webinar, and we'll define the strategy in your area. We'll look at what the best approach is and how you can start making contact, and you'll get access to me via telephone. So you've got to ask yourself, with all this help and support, how can you possibly fail? This year, we're on verge for trading over 300 property deals. We're doing, on average, around 30 a month, between 25 and 30 a month. So there's no one better in the UK right now to help you trade your property, show you how to trade and source property deals. Now, here's a bonus. Remember, I said earlier in the webinar that there is a bonus for everyone that stayed on towards the end. If you click, not click on that link, but if you copy down that link, it's bit.ly/ultimate vendor questions. If you type that into your Google, if you type that into your search engine, we will give you, what it will do is, let's have a quick look, it will take you to something that looks a little bit like that. So it's a fact find question. So you've got 14 pages of solid gold of the implication questions, the need payoff questions, the list of questions, the rapport building questions, the situation questions, the problem questions, and how you get around them. So that kind of brings us, someone said, can we put that? Okay. So that kind of brings us to the end of the presentation. So someone said, can you just put the link back up? So I'm going to take this opportunity now to answer any questions. So let me quickly go through some of the questions here. Is there any questions? Feel free to ask now. So Geraldine says, are there any women? I'd like to think so. Yes, so anyway, yes, women are allowed to, if that's the question. I'm not sure if that's the question, Geraldine, but yes. So the price of it is, sorry, I forgot to mention, the price of it is $995 for the weekend. It's 22nd and 23rd of July. It's happening in Birmingham. And like I said, in excess of that, you get the 4-hour round table with me after in my office in Wolverhampton for the first 10 that buy. And on top of that, you then get the 30-day mentorship thereafter, so that you can get to learn how to move this forward. Now, Robert Butterworth, like I said, I've been watching you, my friend. It looks like you're doing some good things. It'd be interesting to have a chat with you. Okay, that's interesting. So Geraldine says there's no women in the list of successful people you've mentioned. That's a very good observation. I can mention a number of women. So a lady called Vicky Hughes, there's a lady called Sarah Parks, there's a lady called Helen Firth. With all due respect, I mentor hundreds of people a year. I could roll off people. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to quickly go have a look into my elite. So let's just quickly go through here. Um, there's a number of different women that are actually doing this. So Sarah Parks, we've got Beverly Lowe. Just going through, we've got Denny and Rob. We've got Helen and Gareth there. Helen and Gareth. We've got Natalie that's in there as well. I'm just going through because see number we've got Ruth Williams who's based towards Swansea. We've got Sandeep Baines, we've got Sarah Parks, we've got Saranjit, we've got Shahina, we've got Sean Williams. So with regards to women, there's a lot of women. I appreciate, unfortunately, that I didn't. I'll take that comment on board. Um, Okay, so Vicky Pierce says, "Can we bring a business partner?" I'll tell you what we'll do, Vicky. Yeah, okay, you've got me in a generous mood. Today's the end of Ramadan, so today, actually, there's my another excuse. Today is Eid. I'm actually doing a 90-minute webinar on Eid. My wife nearly killed me, but I'm committed to my success. So I said to her, you know what, Eid is another day, and we move on. So Vicky, if you book on tonight and tonight only up until midnight, you can bring a business partner for free. How does that sound? So I'm giving away a lot there. And I know someone's going to kill me for saying that. So for those that want to come on it and you want to bring a business partner for free, that is valid up until tonight, and that being Sunday the 25th of June, and we're currently on around 9:30. Okay, so Mitesh said I cannot access the vendor questions. What I will do is I will take a link of, if I just take this link and I put it all into this box here, and I send it to all, everyone should have this. Everyone should have that in the questions box there. Someone said, can we put the link back up? Yeah. Okay, so TFL says, does it have to be paid in one go? For the 995, yes. The one thing that we can do, if need be, is that you. Okay, so someone says, can we put the link up there? So, so I've put the trading link up there. Someone said, can we put the purchase link up there? So I'll put the purchase link in there as well. So I'm hoping. Okay, so David says, what's the price if you cannot attend in person? Unfortunately, the price is still the same because you still get all the access to the same documents, you still get access to everything that we're offering. So it is 995, and if you click that link there, it will take you to something like that, and it says that you want to book yourself onto the deal trading workshop. Sorry, it's 997. Sorry, oops, it's 997, not 995. So it's £2 a little bit, £2 more expensive. Apologies, I should know that. So, so Chris says the link does not seem to work. Okay, so I've put it in. Hopefully, you've got it all. So, so Kuda says, "Can I bring someone for free?" Yes, you can. Yes, you can bring someone for free. Okay, so hopefully the link works. Yep. So fantastic. So hopefully, so everyone, are there any questions? You know, we've got 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes to answer questions. Are there any questions that you need to? Are there any questions that you want to ask me whilst you've got me here? Is there anything that's a burning desire for you to know? This is your opportunity now, guys. Let's just quickly go through it. Right, okay. Prize for the share of the live link. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Vicky says, for rent-to-rent deals, what is the sensible sourcing fee? So, all depends, Vicky. All depends on length of term that you've negotiated. Also depends on the cash flow. It depends on the kind of deal. On average, it's around £3,000. Okay, so someone is. So Paul says, what's the price for sharing the live link? Okay, so the price for sharing the live link is is a seat onto this workshop. One thing I will be doing is I'll be going through who's shared it a little later on after I've finished this webinar, and I will come back to them either via Facebook or whether by email, and going from there. Does that make sense? So hopefully I can come back to you on that. So okay, so anyone visiting from Southampton? Price will be the same in July before boot camp. Have other urgent priorities right now. What we're hoping to do is we're hoping to get this booked up beforehand, so that we're going to have on average around 20 people in the room. You know, it'll be between 20 and 30 people. So once we've got to that kind of level, we'll stop taking anyone. We'll stop taking anyone else, and then we can move forward from there. Okay, so Julie said, which link? So if you're on Facebook, if you're friends with me, I did a live stream. And what you can do is share that link with, share that live stream with all your friends, and we can go from there. Okay, so okay. So Ivana's asked a good question. She goes, how do you dodge that? How much will you give me for the house question when talking to the seller? That's straightforward. That's straightforward, because Ivana, the one thing that you should never even be in that situation, because the one thing that you want to do is that you've got to identify to the vendor that every property is completely different. Every property is completely individual. Now, the one thing that you need to do I always say is that in order for you to do this successfully, the first thing that you've got to do is get your foot through the door. You've got to get your foot through the door. So if they're asking how much you're going to offer them on the phone, you haven't got them in the right frame of mind at the start. One thing we always say is that we need to come over and have a look at your property, and from there we'll be able to have a look, because we always say that two properties aren't the same on that street. You know, if I was to take a median figure of what that street is, it wouldn't be a justifiable answer for your property in its current condition. So in that respect, I try and get my foot through the door, arrange a viewing, and then that way we can start to build a rapport. We can start to build a rapport with the owner. We can start to have a look at this problem, and we can start to create a solution. So, okay, so straight away, Geraldine says, well, what do you say? You say you don't talk about the problem straight away. How do you start the conversation with? Believe it or not, Geraldine, when I go into a property, it's very rare that I actually even talk about the property for the first 5 or 10 minutes. I walk through, I have a look at the property, I have a look at the state of the property, I have a look to see if they've got children, you know, if I can relate to them, if they've got young children. I say that I've got young children, which I have, relate to them about all the things they do, how kids can drive us up the wall. There are so many different ways to deflect away from property, because what I want them to do first is get a feel about me as an individual and as a person. Once they've got a feel about me as an individual, as a person, their barriers lower. As a result of that, we can then start to speak a lot more freely. Okay, so Sonu has asked a question. He goes, can I take advantage of your training but pay after 6 months? Unfortunately, Sonu, that wouldn't work for me. Unfortunately, you'd have to pay prior to attending the workshop. And I'm going to put it completely blunt: is that you wouldn't go to a supermarket and take a can of beans and say, can I eat it today and I'll pay you in 6 months' time. That's not how the world operates, unfortunately. So you would need to be able to commit to it, and you'd have to make sure that you've got it before you do the workshop. So I'm just quickly going through it. I think I've answered all the questions so far. Okay, so Geraldine says, okay, great. What about if you live abroad? Do you build a rapport over the phone? Of course, yeah, because for argument's sake, Russell and Rahil both live abroad. They've never seen a single property. They've both dealt with agents. They've both dealt with vendors over the phone. The fact that you live abroad is everything. The fact that you live abroad is a massive benefit, because you could say that you're a property investor that's abroad and you're looking to purchase within the UK. And that's all they've done. So I suppose I've answered all the questions. So hopefully everyone's got the links. So you've got the deal trading bootcamp links there. You've got the You've got the workshop links. You've got the links to the vendor questions. If there are any other questions, the one thing I would say to you is feel free to get in contact. I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn the sourcing secrets to build a deal trading business on your lunch break or from the comfort of your own sofa. Hope that you found this insider knowledge to improve the quality of your life. If there are any other questions, believe it or not, I'm actually in London at the moment. I'm going to be heading back to Wolverhampton shortly, so I'm going to be in the car for approximately 2 hours. If anyone's got any questions relating to anything that we've discussed tonight, we can discuss it. I've got no issue with that. So let's just have a quick look. Some of the questions there. Okay, so Kev has asked, what is it? Kev, okay, so Kev says, well, if we sell to your database, is there a JV? Yes, well, we split the fee 50-50. It's very as simple as that. So Harvey says, he goes, I might manage to find a BMV in Northampton. Would you help me sell for a fee and then use it so I can pay for the course, mate? Harvey, if you give me a call tomorrow, we could probably have a chat about that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put my contact number on there, so that's my personal mobile number, and you've got my personal email address there. If there are any other questions, feel free to give me a call, and then let's see what we can do. I'm committed to your success. I'm happy to help as and where possible, and anyone that knows me knows that I'm very open to, I'm very easy to get access to speak to about anything. Anything about the property sector. So guys, on that note, I wish you all the very best and the success. I hopefully look forward to seeing you on the 22nd and 23rd of July. Hopefully you've found the last 90 minutes of great use, and no doubt I will be speaking to you all very soon. On that note, good night, God bless, bye-bye.